What is up, guys? Eric here from Real Film Reviews, bringing you another movie review, this time for the new Oscar Isaac film, Operation Finale. Operation Finale is directed by Chris Weitz, stars Oscar Isaac, Ben Kingsley, and Nick Kroll. This film tells the story of the capture of Adolf Eichmann, who was one of the primary members of Adolf Hitler's Third Reich, and also one of the key figures in developing the idea of the final solution, which would eventually lead to the Holocaust. Now, I am someone who personally loves history. History is something that's extremely interesting to me, it's something that I studied in college, and it's something that I take a lot of pride in being able to watch something and enjoy it for its historical elements. And I think that that's something that makes it even more likely for me to enjoy a film like this, because it tells a portion of history that a lot of people don't know. There are a lot of people who see World War II as this bubble, as this thing that existed for these 6 years, and when it ended, that was the end of Nazis as that iteration of a Nazi. Obviously not like a neo-Nazi or anything like that, but that was the end of that. When Hitler died and World War II ended, that was the end of Nazism in that iteration of it. But it really wasn't. When World War II ended, there were hundreds and thousands of Nazis that were given asylum in different countries, specifically in South America and even more specifically in Argentina. So this film takes place, a lot of it, in Argentina, because that is a stronghold at the time for Nazis that were basically given the ability to leave Germany before being put to trial in Nuremberg. So this film chooses to showcase a part of history that is rarely talked about. It shows the strength of the Jewish people in them deciding that they needed to go capture this man who was halfway across the world because they needed to hold someone accountable in their nation for some of the most heinous crimes ever committed in the history of the world. And I think, in all honesty, this movie's story is very well done, and I think the performances are a big part of that. I really enjoyed Oscar Isaac in this film. I've honestly become a pretty big fan of him over his sort of rise to fame now, and I think that he's very much showcasing even more that he's an extremely versatile and talented actor. He gives a fantastic performance in this movie as one of the main captors of Eichmann in Argentina. He's one of the people that is helping to interrogate him before they take him back to Israel for trial. And I think that it's just such a fantastic performance on his part because there is so much emotion in his character. And when you get to the scene where he's finally able to sort of let that emotion out, it is a extremely well done and climactic scene that is just two men talking in a room. And then Ben Kingsley, who unsurprisingly is so good in this movie as Adolf Eichmann, he captures both the humanity and the monstrous aspects of this man who was a part of some of the worst atrocities in history, and how he is able to turn on a dime from someone who is seeking sympathy to someone who is a cold-hearted killer. And I think that his ability to capture both of those things in the same man and make it feel so real was just absolutely impressive. And then also shout out to Nick Kroll for doing a good job. I think that after Loving and this movie, he's continuing to show that there is more to him than just a comedic side. And then while I do have more to say about the writing, I do want to say that I think a film like this that is such a quiet drama, this movie isn't full of action and set pieces and craziness. This is a movie about people sitting in a room interrogating a man. And I think the fact that you were able to take a story like that and give these scenes that are just people talking so much suspense and so much strength and make them feel climactic is so hard to do. And while there are issues in the script, I do think that that was such an impressive aspect of the script, because I think this is a story that deserved to be told, and I think it was told very wonderfully. And like I said, my issues with the film really do just fall onto the script of it. I think that there are stretches of this movie where there is almost nothing happening. It's literally just the characters sitting around, nothing really important is being discussed, they're just kind of there. And I think that for one really hurts the pacing of the movies, because as I said, this movie isn't full of action and craziness, it's a quiet drama, so it needs to feel like it's progressing, otherwise it will feel very stagnant. And I think that this movie does have some scenes that very much feel stagnant, and that hurts the pacing of it. And then to go along with that, there is a romance subplot that was written into this film that did not take place in real life that I feel like felt very forced and very unnecessary in the plot. The times when it is brought up in the story, it feels generic and it feels like something that was put in there for Hollywood so that way they could have this romance angle in the film that just never really accomplished anything in it. Every time the scene popped up where it would be discussed, it never felt like it was serving a purpose in the story. It felt like it was just there to fill a quota of having a romance element. I'm gonna give Operation Finale a B. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. As someone who really enjoys history and stories like this, I thought that it was so interesting to get to see something that isn't really a traditional Hollywood take on something historical be put to the screen. And I think if you enjoy historical dramas, definitely go watch it. It's not full of action, like I said, so if that's what you're looking for, stay away from this one because you'll honestly probably just find it boring, but I thought it was absolutely enthralling. Well, as always, guys, I'm Eric. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of Operation Finale, share everything we do here on Real Film Reviews, and hope to see you guys later.